So my name's Roger Crothers. I've been working in and around Louvreclad for a few years, but engaged recently, probably in the last 6 months again. My role here is to accelerate their knowledge. So this is a business that's evolved. So whenever a business evolves, they can only learn what's internal. So what I do is I bring them skills from other industries and other processes and bigger businesses to be able to streamline their business. So I use a number of theories, so things like Lean or Six Sigma, theory of constraint, agile manufacturing. So from my perspective, the idea of bringing in someone like myself as a consultant is to fast track that learning process. So do they have a library of things that they've done in the past to be able to adapt to what the customer's looking for? So the answer is yes. Recently we looked at that whole process and we wanted to get away from reinventing the wheel every single time. So with the amount of experience at Louvreclad and the years that they've been around, we made sure that we created what's called a library of reference material, and rather than reinventing that wheel is actually going to that library and adapting it and changing it to the customer expectations and what they want out of that product. Also the learnings. So if you're trying to invent something completely new, you generate a whole heap of risk, but if you're adapting something that's already been done before, then it makes that process a lot more streamlined and smooth and easier for the customer, and we know what works and what doesn't. Those processes don't change. How we interact with the customer's product changes, and that's why using philosophies like Lean or Six Sigma or theory of constraint or agile, that's where these things really come into play, because you're innovating every time. So one of the big things about Louvreclad is every project's different. So it's not like a factory where you can start and finish a process and get the same product time after time. So with the Louvreclad, they really got a prototype, design it from scratch sometimes, and then build their processes around that. So the process itself doesn't change for how they manufacture, but the way they adapt to the different types of products they put through this facility is important. So my role in that is, for them to be able to teach them the tools, to be able to become more efficient at what they do. Each job does create its own challenges because it's the unique nature of the business, and what they need is to be able to adapt to those problems. So with Louvreclad, they can adapt quickly, so there's a good communication stream between what's happening on the factory floor right through to the installation, and should there be any disruptions or processes or issues, they're sort of in the mind frame where they can adapt and fix those problems quickly. So that's where someone like myself comes and gets involved in that process, is to give them a framework on which they can standardise and use to fix those problems. So the question is, how do you take that first prototype, create a smart manufacturing process to be able to make sure you meet the customer requirements, not only in quality, but in delivery and timeframes, as well as the installation side. How do we do it well and deliver it on site and in time and easy to install?